What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dave and this is Blindman Outdoors, and on this channel you basically get an inside look at what an adventurepreneur like me goes through on a semi-monthly basis, because that's about the rate that I post these days. But welcome back. If you're here, love to have you. If you're new here, again, love to have you. If you're returning, it's good to see you again. As you can see, we've bit off a little bit more than we can chew right before the Alberta Outdoor Adventure Expo camper needs to get completed. This safari camper needs to get completed and installed. And as you can see, the prototype 001, yet again, right before Expo, is undergoing some dramatic changes. We're gonna undergo a pretty interesting experiment here. We've been asked a lot if the current existing model for the sport model, which is what we have on the Yucca Pac on the Frontier for the shop, is convertible. This video is going to answer that question once and for all. I think yes, that's why I've already gone as far as I have to start the conversion. But we don't know. And it is a massive roll of the dice to do this right before the show, especially when Michael's on his way right now to pick up his camper. Welcome to Blindman Outdoors. I'm Dave, and I've been exploring my whole life, from my hometown in the Blindman River Valley to the jungles of South America. 4 years ago, I left an old life behind to chase a passion full-time. Now, I built Canada's Yucca Pac camper and the Alberta Outdoor Adventure Expo, all while continuing to explore and experience the great outdoors. You see, I believe we're called to live free and be wild. And if you do too, then this is the place for you. All right, so now if you don't know about the Alberta Outdoor Adventure Expo, that's totally fine. It is Alberta's premium outdoor adventure event, and it is basically put on by me and a bunch of my friends. A few years ago, during the COVID lockdowns, we decided we were gonna risk it for the biscuit and host the first outdoor in-person event in the province in years. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it was just us and the Calgary Stampede, and I don't even know if the Calgary Stampede was a go. The idea was simple. We wanted to give people a place that loved to adventure, backpackers, mountain bikers, hikers, overlanders, just outdoor adventure enthusiasts in their entirety. We wanted to give them a place once a year where they could all kind of come together, share their experiences, maybe learn a new skill, maybe find some new friends, and more or less just get offline and get back in person stuff. I mean, we've got skills training, we've got special events, we got special guests that come out, we got giveaways, we've got vendors, we've got food trucks, we've got classes, we've got fishing ponds, we're right on a river. We've probably got the best camping out of any other outdoor venue, and I don't care who you are. All right, now if you've watched this channel for a while, you guys already probably know about the Alberta Outdoor Adventure Expo. It is very fun. It is not too late to get your tickets either. Tickets are on sale at www.aoaexpo.com, and it's gonna be a riot. However, this video isn't actually sponsored by the Alberta Outdoor Adventure Expo. It's sponsored by All Powers, and All Powers is gonna help us get all of these campers, plus the prototype camper, done and ready for the expo. It's also gonna be powering all of the power for the van for the whole event, plus the solar panels and everything. So, let's look at it. This is the S2000 Pro from All Powers. It is a very stout unit, and it's pretty much a 2400 watt power station. Now, you can run up to devices up to 2400 watts. So this is going to power everything. It will even power a fridge for at least a few hours. So if your fridge goes down in your house or something like that, this thing's going to help you. As far as charging goes, this thing will charge from like 0 to full power in about an hour and a half from a 110 socket. And then you're looking at about 3 hours via solar. It's got a 30 amp port for full surface van life, which is exactly what we're using it for today. Now, the really cool thing about this unit is that it's 100% portable, and it's also rechargeable for solar. So the plan is that the solar charger is going to be connected to this unit. This unit's gonna live and sit in the van full time, and then the battery charger for the lithium battery will actually be plugged into one of these 110 outlets. So we have 4 on the top, 4 USBs, 2 USB-Cs, a cigarette plug, and then a solar input as well. And that's all right on the front. If we turn the unit around, you'll see we've got our charge station here. That's just for the plug-in. So if we plug that into the wall, it's very, very heavy. It's, I mean, for the size of it, it's pretty stout. We've got a fan on the back end that's just going to keep this thing running cool. It is a loud unit when it's charging. If we turn it on here, you're just going to push and hold that power button, and the whole unit's going to fire up. As you can see, we're sitting at about 100% charge because we did just plug it in. And it's very, very friendly, guys. If you want alternating current, so any of your top plugs, you're just going to hit the AC button. And if you want direct current or DC, you're going to hit this button as well. This is also your Bluetooth control button. So this unit is set up for Bluetooth as well, which is pretty sick. This lets you monitor everything via your phone. And then at the bottom, the display here, it gives you a readout as to how many days you have left remaining. So if we just let this thing turn on and sit, it's going to run for about three or 4 days, just sitting there at idle with all these things turned on. As soon as we turn that off, you see a little clock here that lights up, and that's going to tell you that if this thing's just sitting at idle with none of these inverters and none of this power sockets turned on, it's going to sit fully charged at least for as long as about 20 days until you're going to have to charge it back up again. This isn't the only thing that they sent me. They also sent me an absolutely massive solar panel. I think it's literally going to sit right there. If you look at the bottom of it, if we turn it upside down, you've got these super thick, wide rubber pads underneath. And they're about 2 inches wide by 1 inch thick. And that's really helpful because this thing weighs so much that if I put it on a flat surface like I do on my cabinet here, it's not really going to move around very much. And it's kind of difficult to kind of push into place. This might move over time. I might find a better location for it. But I have been actually using it here, at least for the last 2 weeks, in the van when I'm not using it around the shop or out fishing or something. This is basically going to be the central power system for the entire van going forward, which is fantastic because, I mean, if you're doing van life or if you're building out a camper or something like that, I would argue that you only need this. And the fact that it can be easily pulled out and put on a picnic table or something like that and use it wherever you want is super convenient. Being that it's a 2,000 watt generator or inverter, we have saved ourselves literally hours of work. Just by lifting this thing up and placing it here, we've probably saved ourselves 3 hours worth of wiring. And honestly, if you're going to do a dual battery system with inverter and everything, it's probably going to cost you about the same for something like this. There is a downside to this now. If something were to happen to it, let's say you have to troubleshoot or something, everything's encased in the unit itself. So you're not going to be able to pull it apart because inside there is a heavy duty, very large LiPo battery. You really don't want to be messing around with that kind of stuff. So if something were to go wrong, if a switch doesn't work, if the AC port stopped working, there's really no diagnostics that you can do aside from whatever the user manual is going to go. When you consider that these things are kind of built to last a considerable amount of time, it's actually not so bad. It's very unlikely that you're going to have issues with it, but it is something to consider. Whereas with like an inverter or something like that, you can chase wires, you can add fuses and relays, and really give you an ability to kind of chase down issues. Another positive that you get is that this is completely separate from your start battery. There isn't a single accessory in this entire van that is actually connected to our start battery. So our start battery is only ever used to run the van. It's the fridge, the lights, the max fan, everything that we installed in the previous video is running through the lithium battery. That gets charged via a 110 outlet on the side. So as long as you're like at a campground, or for example, this thing's gonna be at Expo in a few days, and it's just gonna live somewhere where it can be plugged into a wall, because this is where we have our Starlink set up and everything like that. There you go. That is what they sent. You can look at that. That's like at least four feet tall and at least 60 pounds. But it is quite the stout unit. We have a 37.4 volt, 400 watt solar panel. This is a packable solar panel, so it's gonna open like a book. We have a short circuit of 11.45 degree or amps, maximum power voltage of 37.4. We already knew that. And then a maximum power current of 10.6 amps. And then the solar conversion rate is about 19 to 22%. So 19 to 22% is gonna be pretty average for an economy brand solar panel. There are some solar panels out there that can get up to like 40 to 50% efficiency, which might sound crazy if you know your solar stuff, but if you look up like companies like Off Grid Trek with Rennie's solar blankets, those are like military grade solar systems. So they're designed to pack a wallop in a small package. When you're looking at something that's like consumer brand or something that you can actually readily access on a tight budget, I'm gonna tell you, All Powers is pretty awesome. You're just gonna hit your guys here and then open it up. Now you're gonna see just how big 400 watts of solar looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels. Let's say that's 190, maybe 90 watts per panel, right? And it folds up, it opens up quite large. So I think what we'll actually end up doing for the show is we'll put it on the roof rack of the van, and then we'll actually connect it to a solar pass-through that I have had mounted on the van since forever. So we'll mount it to that guy there, and then we'll connect it to the All Powers inside the van. All right, guys, we're gonna get back to the video now, and I'm gonna show you exactly what needs to be done. So over here, we've got our E-panel. This is the E-panel that goes inside of every Yucca Pac camper. You get this E-panel whether you get a power management system or not, and the layout and what's on it is going to be determined based on your options. This is for Lauren's camper right over there, and she's gone with a pretty straightforward power management system. She's gonna have a aux beam switch center on the inside with common grounds, a 30 amp breaker, as well as a battery charger that is gonna let her keep that thing powered. So we have to wire this up, completely wire that up and hang the canvas. That camper is pretty close to being finished. And then with Michael's camper, we got to do the same thing. If you come over here, don't mind my extremely messy workbench, we have another E-panel here. So this is what the E-panel looks like if you get a base model Yucca Pac camper. And this is still very cool because it basically allows you to wire up your own accessories. You can either choose the accessories that we choose, which is what all these holes are for, or you can kind of go a different route and just mount whatever you want to it. That's totally fine too. But this has to get completely wired up and installed inside there. That camper has to get lifted up and put on its work platform over there, which we will do right away. Well, maybe not right away because it is like 10 o'clock at night and it's Wednesday. So I think we're actually gonna call it a night for now. Strange way to start a video, I know, at the end of the day. But I had the energy, I had the vibes to do it, and so that's how we're gonna do it. All right, good morning, everybody. So we've got our E-panel, as well as all of the accessories that are gonna be wired onto this thing. So Mike's getting a solar system. He's also getting his aux beam switch panel system. The aux beam switch panel system is actually really, really sweet. They're very inexpensive. And don't be swayed. Like if you're a name brand kind of guy and you're like, oh man, aux beam, it's from Amazon. It's you know what? If you go to any 4x4 shop, with the exception to maybe purchasing an S-Pod or a Garmin system, you're actually going to be buying this exact same system. Most of the 4x4 shops that have these on their shelves, it is the same system. And then that just gets mounted on the inside wall of the camper like that, right? Along the cabinet wall. All right, guys, we're back at it now, and we are in a fully powered up Yucca Pac. Look at that. Exterior lights, which are bloody bright. We're just gonna finish up wiring the back, but that's gonna be tomorrow because today, this is what we got going on now. Back onto the Safari. We gotta put a bulb seal on this top. The bulb seal that we currently use, we're not gonna be able to get on time for the show. Now, if we look at a 2025 Yucca Pac, you'll see that the bulb seal is much thicker. That's a 3/4 inch bulb seal. The problem exists here. So when we install this bulb seal, we actually install it before we put this set of rivets in throughout the perimeter of the top. But what happens is as we set these rivets after installing the bulb seal, the material both on the outside and on the inside squeezes that bulb seal tight. And that bulb seal has been on that top for many years. So far, this has gone very well, which usually means the next step isn't going to. See what it looks like inside. Don't mind the dirt and debris. That's what happens when you're working in here. So what we need to do next is relocate our wiring for both our solar panel and our top light. Now look at all that. So there you go. Look at all that space. And like I said, this is a double wall. So there's material, an insulated layer, and the material on the outside. So we've got double element protection. And it is quite bright out right now. So the only light that you're gonna see after I flick this switch off is what's coming through the back door. That's how dark it is in here, guys. You know, it's the cell phone cameras that we have nowadays are, for some reason, very good at low light videography. I'm assuming that's AI, but watch this. I'm gonna flick this off and turn the camera the best light. So that's the best light right now. It's 1x zoom on a cell phone. Now I'm gonna stand up in the camper. Guys, I'm not kidding you. This is dark. A little bit there and a little bit there on this zipper. You see my fingers. Now I'm gonna turn the light back on. I'm gonna go into 6 wide. Boom. Like you would never know. You would never know it's daylight outside with how dark it is in here. This is crazy. All right, now our mechanisms aren't engaged yet, so the canvas is gonna pull in a little bit more, but that's okay, because we're just gonna throw the mattresses in, and we're gonna close it right back up and see if we have a seal. No flipping way. That is hard to believe. I can't believe that. Guys, that's crazy. Wow, okay. That's incredible. And so here's the deal. Now the real test is gonna be this. The real test is gonna be over time, while this thing's jostling around and moving around, are the mechanisms gonna bite into the canvas anywhere? And we're gonna wear and tear on components. The top is very, very tight, so there is a good chance that that will happen. But we're gonna use and abuse this thing now for the next 6 months to see if that's gonna do it. And if it does do it, and it holds it well, and it keeps its seal, well, then we will know that the Safari Camper insulated version can be released to the public, just like the Sport Top. Very cool. New digs for 2025. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. Big shout out to All Powers for setting in us this unit. I'm telling you, it's really good. It's a really good unit. I can run almost everything on it. I would show you even, but to be honest, that little 300 watt that we did months ago powers virtually everything in my shop. And so the 2000 Pro is gonna power everything and then some. If you're looking for a power system for your van, for your overland rig, or even just something in a cabin, this is the brand that you should look at, loaded with value. Big shout out to All Powers for sponsoring this video. If you guys wanna learn more, head on over to www.blindmanoverland. That'll teach you everything you need to know about the Yucca Pac camper, or head on over to www.AOAEXPO.com. Get your tickets. You've only got a few days to get your tickets. They will be available at the gate. It's a whole weekend of fun. There's camping, there's fishing. It's the best bang for your buck. We are the most affordable event of our kind, and we have the best venue of any sort of event like this in North America, period. So we would love to see you guys there. That's gonna do it, guys. I'm really excited to see you guys this weekend. As always, live free, be wild, and we'll see you guys at Expo.